would like to show you some of the common shading problems I found from my previous students. I want to take over.
Okay.
You have several things going on. Why do you always create a curve like that? You know, why do you have that habit? Just curious.
Because I'm used to whip shading.
Which also doesn't create a curve.
I feel like when I'm following certain shapes, if I go straight, I feel like when I'm shading a rounded object, I don't want to leave straight whips, you know, I want to follow the curve of the object.
Okay. Can you pass me that dilution? Yes. That is a very good reason, but a very bad solution, because I'll show you. Because when you're shading straight, like this, your stroke from it's very light. From beginning to the end, it is consistent, and it's easy to overlap it, and then it's even.
Okay.
Right? When you're doing a curve, I can't even do it. You start wide, then you have a turning angle. Then you basically finish with the side of your mag. A little bit like that. Then the result of that is you would have those little lines like that. Each of those lines are created when you turn around. And then when you turn around, you're not tattooing with the flat surface of your mag. You're using the corner of your mag.
Okay.
So you have a bunch of cuts. Okay. So I understand why people think they could like follow a round thing like that, but it's definitely something you should not do, because you cannot fill in those gaps later. The only way to do it is to overlap everything again. But because you will be doing the same hand motion again, so the result of it is cut on cut.
Okay.
And then you end up having very messy shade, unless you do it many times, and then you basically like cutting it until it's saturated, and then that's how you mash potato.
Okay.
So number one thing you have to fix is you have to correct that a bit. You have to go straight. Okay. And then the second thing you're doing here is that your overlapping density is not, you probably understand it wrong, because when I watch you do it, you are going, let's say this is one stroke, right? And then your next stroke, you're jumping to here. And your next stroke, you're jumping a lot. That's how you create those things. It's like obviously a mag mark, then some gap or some overlap, and then another overlap, another mag mark. So that is basically a wrong understanding.
Okay.
To avoid that, you have to have a consistent, same overlapping density. For example, you don't jump like that. Okay? You go like slowly move up. This is consistent. Okay?
Yeah.
And when you do that, because your overlapping density is so low, you're compensating it with your depth.
Yes.
So you're going extra hard like that.
Yeah.
Okay? And then that's the third kill because that depth is not right.
Okay.
So you should go shallower with more overlapping density and consistent move. Okay? This clip is from a pop-up tattoo workshop from 2024. It was last year when I had this watercolor tattoo workshop. It was meant to be for experienced tattoo artists only. I mean, I designed quite a lot of more advanced watercolor tattoo skills and shading skills in it. But then I also found one of my problems through this workshop, which is that I shouldn't be teaching tattoo skills based on how many years of experience my students claim that they have. The watercolor skills are a little bit more advanced, more difficult, and that must be built on solid foundation of MAC shading skills, which is something I did not consider that much last year. Every time you put your needle into the fake skin, you have to really look at where you are landing. You should pay close attention to where your needle is going. Right now, when you are shading, you're like kind of landing very casually. You're not really thinking where your needle is going to. Every time your needle gets in there, it's cutting. It's cutting in there. It's like a very sharp angle cutting. So you have to know where your needle is going. That's how you create the gaps. You see this here. If you would look very carefully and then look at the tip of your needle, and you would see, oh, I have to land here. Okay? And then you can tilt your machine to an angle so that you could get to that corner. You could land on it. You tilt your machine and be flexible with your machine. And then even if you're using a big needle, you can still get to little corners and then blend out. Okay? So it's a very typical landing issue. So I'm trying to fix that little thing. You should be very careful and see here. It's a hard line on the reference picture. Here is a very hard line. But you're not landing on it. When there's a hard line, you should. Let me try this. When there's a hard line, you should like land on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You have to tilt your machine in a way so you can actually cut on that line when you're doing it. Very careful. Every time you put your needle in the skin, you're hurting someone, so you can't do it random. Okay. Going forward, I've decided that anyone that want to attend my color tattoo workshop must do the MAC shading workshop beforehand, simply because that MAC shading is such an important tattoo foundation skill that you must be able to do it to understand and to approach the next step. This clip is just a very small, few minutes from our tattoo workshop. Every minute I am spotting more other common mistakes and problems and issues. Every hour we are teaching new techniques and pushing students to move forward. And this hands-on in-person training experience is something that it could not be replaced by online lessons. Doesn't matter how good the online lessons are, you just, you need a mentor to watch you and to point out your mistake and to help you grow.